Y'all, I swear 2024 is not Drake's year at all, because he has been catching strays left and right, and he can't seem to catch a break. What started off as a casual beef between him and Kendrick Lamar quickly turned into a public annihilation, because Kendrick came for him with all the smoke. But it just got worse, because the $1 million Toronto mansion where Drake has been hiding just got flooded and it looks ruined. Y'all best believe that Kendrick did not let this slide, and he threw some nasty shade at Drake. Chilla, y'all. Better get on this, because these two men are about to get it on again. At this point, we need to agree that the drama between Drake and Kendrick will never end, at least not anytime soon. The wild part about this is that the beef started between J. Cole and Kendrick, and had nothing to do with Drake at the beginning. I mean, sure, Drake and Kendrick already had their issues from years back, but nobody thought it was going to blow up like this. It's wild because J. Cole didn't even shade Kendrick to begin with. If anything, he gave him a massive compliment by referring to him as one of the biggest rappers in the world, saying love when they argue the hardest MC. Is it K. Is it Aubrey or me? We the big three, like we started a league. But right now, I feel like Muhammad Ali. Kendrick didn't take this well because of his history with DR, and he clapped back at J. Cole and Drake in his collab with Metro Boomin entitled "Like That." He said, "If you walk around with that stick, it ain't Andre 3K. Think I won't drop the location. I still got PTSD, mother F the big three ninja. It's just big me." Well, Drake wasn't about to let Kendrick have the last laugh without a fight. He hit back with two diss tracks back to back, called Push Upus and Tailor Made. For a hot minute, it looked like Drake might just be on top of his game and might beat Kendrick in the beef, but Kendrick wasn't about to let that slide. He came back full force and dropped Euphoria, which is one of the nastiest and meanest diss tracks that we've seen in a hot minute. He ate Drake up. And while we were trying to deal with that, he dropped another diss track called 616, which was just as savage. He spilled all kinds of tea about Dar and his crew, painting him as a weakling who is desperately paying people to get dirt on Kendrick. Drake tried to fight back, and he dropped another diss track, Family Matters, where he came for Kendrick's family, accusing him of allegedly putting paws on his Gian's Whitney. He also accused Kendrick of being an absentee father, saying on some Bobby is, "I want to know what Whitney need. All that puppy love was over in y'all late teens. Why you never hold your son and tell him say cheese? We could have left the kids out of this. Don't be all blame me." This was a smart way for Drake to deflect from Kendrick's brutal disses, because Kendrick has been fighting for a long time against accusations that he allegedly put paws on Whitney.
So now there was a shocking story about you, and I was like, there's no way this is true.
Yeah.
When they said you were in Vegas and you beat some guy bloody and you did something to some female.
Yeah.
And they said they had evidence and all of this, and then I never heard anything about it again.
Yeah, because it's foolishness. That's the most ignorant stuff I've ever heard made up.
I was like, Kendrick did that? I doubt it.
And, you know, that person, whoever made that up, owes an apology. Not to me, but to women that actually go out there and get a you dig what I'm saying? That's a real issue, and to be putting a person name that you know that stands for someone way more better, that's been raised way more better than that. That's not cool. There's people out there that really get a, and there's women out there that get a and don't say nothing, and you know live their lives through that. So that's.
Because I was like, I'm sure if that happened, there'd have been a police report. You would have been arrested.
That's foolishness. That's ignorant. That's all the way ignorant to 100%.
When you hear things in the news, certain things I believe about artists. That story, I didn't even think that was remotely close to your character at all.
Yeah, you'd be in jail, man. They put you under the jail.
Kendrick then exposed Drake for allegedly being a pedophile in the song Meet the Grams, where he name-dropped Drake's mom, saying, "Sandra, sit down. What I'm about to say is heavy. Now listen, your son's a sick man with sick thoughts. I think ninjas like him should him, and Weinstein should get up in a cell for the rest of their life. He hates black women, hypers them with kinks of animo, grew facial hair because he understood being a beard just fit him better. He got offenders on Jovio that he keep on a monthly allowance. A child should never be compromised, and he keeping his child around them, and we got to raise our daughters knowing there's like him lurking. If you thought it couldn't get any wilder, Kendrick dropped another diss track, Not Like Us, and it was on a whole new level of crazy. And get this, he used a photo of Drake's house as the cover art. At this point, other rappers joined in and dragged Drake for filth, dropping multiple diss tracks against Drake. Chile, having half the industry dragging you for filth is some nasty business, and there's no way that Drake could have held his own against other rappers in the industry. Rick Ross is one of the rappers who came after Drake, but you can't exactly blame him, because Drake took the first shots in his diss track, Push You. Drake said, "I might take your latest girl and cuff her like I'm Ricky. Can't believe he jumping in this ninja turning 50. Every song that made it on the chart he got from Drizzy. Spend that little check you got and stay about my business." Well, Ross wasn't about to let this slide. and he dropped a diss track Champagne Moments where he said getting bullied don't walk up on me cuz the clip is fully Ninja's P. Don't want to push me, I'm like, really would he like his moves? But he never had to fight in school, always ran another ninja had to write your grooves, low is copy and paste Wheezy gave you the juice, another white boy at the park, want to hang with the crew. Rick Ross also made it 100% clear that he was Team Kendrick after Kendrick dropped the diss tracks, Not Like Us, and Meet the Grahams. He clowned Drake and asked Drake to retire.
I just want to make this clear, white boy, they said you said if you was young girls, you promised you would have been arrested. Whoever wrote that for you should have put more thought into that. White boy, it's your writers. Whatever message you translated to them, that wasn't the way they were supposed to do that. And as a writer, when it come to you gotta remove yourself from that. White boy, that wasn't the line right there.
Don't even get me started on Metro Boomin and how he dropped a beat and asked random fans on the internet to drop diss tracks against Drake. Drake was fighting for his life against all these ops, and he was struggling hard. It got even worse when Drake's house in Toronto got shot up in a drive-by shooting. The streets started talking about how singer The Weeknd was allegedly behind the shooting. Because guess what, he also has some messy beef against Drake. Like I said, Drake had way too many ops, but shooting up his house is just a level of craziness. At first, fans tried to pin it on Kendrick because of the beef, and because he used a map of Drake's house on the cover art of Not Like Us. But as people pointed out, Drake's Toronto address has been public for a long time now, which leads us right back to The Weeknd. So you might be scratching your head, wondering why people would accuse The Weeknd of coming for Drake like this. Well, rumor has it that Drake allegedly ordered a hit on someone from The Weeknd's crew a few weeks before Drake's own house got shot up allegedly. It's all part of a beef that's deeper than just a personal grudge. It's a full-blown clash between their labels OVO and XO, who are seriously at each other's throats. Here's the juicy backstory if you're not caught up back in the day when The Weeknd was just starting out. Drake was one of the first big names to spot his potential. It was clear from the get-go that The Weeknd was destined for greatness. According to rumors, Drake's right-hand man, 40, was the one who first met The Weeknd and then introduced him to Drake. Drake was eager to sign The Weeknd to OVO Records, but the deal didn't happen immediately. Even though they never made it official with a contract, Drake and The Weeknd kept on collaborating, with Drake playing the role of mentor in The Weeknd's rise to fame. The Weeknd even worked on Drake's 2011 album, Take Care, helping out with the writing on at least 4 tracks. Here's where it gets a bit shady. Drake didn't exactly give The Weeknd credit for his work on the album, and for a long time it was like he was keeping it secret. It wasn't until a few years later that the truth finally came out. Drake was kind of cornered into giving The Weeknd some well-deserved writing credits on Take Care, but they didn't let that stop them. By then, Drake was seriously eyeing the possibility of officially bringing The Weeknd into the OVO family because he recognized he had a gold mine of talent right there. But The Weeknd wasn't just a musical genius, he was also smart AF. He was keeping a close eye on OVO and noticed something fishy. None of Drake's SS were really hitting it big. Now, to be fair, it's not like Drake was out there deliberately sabotaging his artists or anything. The truth is, it's pretty common for a super busy artist to struggle with balancing their own career while trying to help others break out. Juggling one successful career is tough enough, but trying to stay on top while also building someone else's career, that's a whole new level of challenging. And not many people managed to pull it off smoothly. Watching the scene unfold at Drake's OVO label, The Weeknd saw exactly what his future might look like if he stayed there, so he played it smart and signed with Republic Records in 2012, launching his own EXO Records. And boy, did that move pay off. He got to chart his own path and really shine in his career. Honestly, if he'd stuck with OVO, he might not have become the superstar he is today. But Drake wasn't exactly throwing a party over this. He felt pretty salty about The Weeknd jumping ship to Republic Records, thinking The Weeknd owed him for all the free promo he'd given him back in the day. As soon as the news dropped, Drake started throwing out some serious shade, calling The Weeknd out for being disloyal and ungrateful. Still, The Weeknd wasn't exactly ungrateful. He always gave Drake his props and acknowledged how Drake helped start his career. But Drake wasn't having any of it even when The Weeknd gave him a shout out.